Hi, it's John, and welcome to the channel 5:24 a.m. on Wednesday, February the 26th, with the big blue mug of coffee. Hope you're having a great day today. And I was just sitting here thinking about the debate from last night. I hope you watched my analysis. I did it within 15 minutes of that debate ending last night. But I was thinking how much better that debate would have been if Ruby Dhalla was on the stage. And you know, I went back and looked at some of the email Ruby Dhalla sent me. I'm going to show you one in just a moment, and I'm going to show you why they needed to remove her from the race. Now here, if we look at the screen here, this is from the National Post this morning. Liberal leadership debate recap. Mark Carney still the front runner after tame performances. Carney, Freeland, Gould, Frank Baylis faced off in a debate with just 2 weeks remaining before the Liberal leadership vote. Now if we go over here, Liberal leadership race poll shows Freeland a close second behind Carney on first ballot. So it looks like it will not be a first ballot win for Mark Carney, which could be promising for people like myself who will be voting. And I'm going to show you something about that in just a moment. But it is masterful the way this has played out for the Liberals. And I don't know that they've been able to plan it all out, but it certainly has played out to their favor in a big way. I mean, when Trudeau resigned on January the 6th, pro-rogue government, we didn't have an election. The way he basically gave crumbs to sing over the years in order for him to maintain power. And then by starting off this leadership race, it's worked out perfectly. I mean, certainly Trump tariffs were a threat. But the only way the Liberals are leading in the polls right now, which is the case, if we look over here, Liberals top Tories for first time in years, new Ipsos polling says. They were up by 26 points six weeks ago, the Conservatives. They played this perfectly. And here's the thing I've been thinking overnight. Donald Trump is the new COVID. I think other people have made this comparison, but you look back on COVID. The Liberal governments around the world made people believe, against their better nature, that only the government had the correct information and could protect them from a respiratory disease, for the most part, that only killed older people. The average age here in Alberta was 79, 80 years of age. Didn't kill young people, but they had parents scared to death their children were going to die sitting in a classroom. The only way they could protect themselves was putting a piece of flimsy material over their face, standing on dots, staying 2 meters apart, and rolling up their sleeves, taking an experimental drug. And Donald Trump is now, the Liberal Party is now those four things: the mask, the dot, the social distancing, and the shot against Donald Trump. That's where we are right now. It was like they learned so much. It's like a petri dish, an experimental petri dish on how to control people's minds, because people are lining up to vote Liberal again against their better judgment after 10 years of economic ruin. They're the people who got us in this place. I'm not going to get into that again. But if Ruby Dhalla was in this race, imagine where we would be right now. They had to get rid of her. Let's take a look at email. So this is some of the email I received from Ruby Dhalla. And let's go back to February 4th. Canada is under attack, says right down here, and we'll roll up here. And I highlighted the part that had Liberals concerned about Ruby Dhalla, because she was on stage last night. This is the plan of attack she would have had against Mark Carney and the other three people on the stage. Let's look at some more facts. People are struggling to put a roof over their head because of the housing crisis. Grocery prices have increased by 3 to 5% across Canada. Canadians are overburdened with paying so much tax. Crime in our country is at an all-time high with no consequence for criminals. This is why Canadians are mad and angry. This is why our party is at the lowest it has been in the polls. This is Pierre Poilievre could have written that. But listen to what she says here. And this is what she would have said on stage last night that would have absolutely destroyed the four people on stage, in particular Mark Carney and Chrystia Freeland. The current leadership race is about replacing Justin Trudeau. Many Liberals across the country are wondering why Mark Carney, who was an advisor to the Trudeau administration, and Chrystia Freeland, who walked out on Canadians, are trying to fix a system they broke. I agree with many of you who have said electing Carney or Freeland would be electing Trudeau 2.0. She sent stuff like that out, and they had to get rid of her, and it was masterful. And you know, the thing is, people didn't even question it. She had these 10 things that she'd done, so we have to get her out of the race. Boy, would it have been refreshing to see her on stage last night. Now, here's the only thing I'm hanging my hat on right now when it comes to Mark Carney. I mentioned earlier that it's not likely Carney is going to win on the first vote when March 9th rolls around. Chrystia Freeland right now is a close second behind Carney on first ballot. So just to let you know, here is the Liberal website, and if you look right here, the verification period has started. You can now get verified ahead of the voting period opening on February 26th, today. Find the most up-to-date information below, including the verification and voting period timelines. And if you look down here, right here, I signed up, I got verified this morning. Thank you. If the information you provided matches our records, you'll receive an email with your voter ID and verification instructions. Please check your junk emails, and if you continue to have issues receiving your voter ID, contact Liberal Solutions and there's the email. So, and I think I'm going to vote for Chrystia Freeland. The polls say that Carney has the best chance at winning in the election against Poilievre. People are saying that Carney's the best person to negotiate with Trump. I don't believe that at all. As I said in my video yesterday, Pierre Poilievre will destroy any of the people that were on stage last night, including Mark Carney. He is really good at this, folks. And the other thing I want to end on here is Liberals do not turn on each other. They all said nothing when Dhalla was thrown out of the race because they wanted her gone, because all that matters to them is winning. Conservatives are turning right now on Pierre Poilievre. We can't do that. He's been working his ass off for 2 years. And only because of Donald Trump, and I'll never forgive Donald Trump if the Liberals win the next election, because it's only because of him. But Poilievre deserves our support. People are saying he sounds more like a Liberal all the time. He's the only thing standing between us and 5 years of Liberal rule, majority or minority, because they're going to have a coalition government one way or the other. So that's all I've got to say. God, I wish Ruby Dhalla was on stage during that debate last night. It would have been far more interesting. And some of the people on stage last night would have been exposed for the people that they are. And they are the architects of Canada's destruction, whether it comes to Donald Trump or 10 years of the economy, which has been tanking ever since Justin Trudeau got in 2015. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you in the next one.